Hi, everybody. We're here in Nancy Jean's garden with a familiar face, Jeffrey, except he's
Hello.
got a new change in his life, the shape of light. We're going to talk about his psychic journey, his psychic profile, and how we've ended up on today with the change of title. And in all fairness to the other readers who haven't seen the questions before, Jeffrey and I recorded a show to show, and I was supposed to have done it last week, and I just didn't get around to it. And now I know why. And I'm having camera problems because my big screen broke, so I'm working from my small screen. So I'm having to squint a lot. Love and light to Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. Hi, Mimi.
Um, so we're gonna. So you want to say a little bit, Jeffrey, and we can get into it about the big changes, or you can just talk about.
Okay, well, I decided to change my name. So I changed the name of the YouTube channel and I'm switching over to Hi Susan, and I'm switching the name of my website um, to The Shape of Light. I don't it's like I'm in the middle of process, so I'm not really sure where it's going, and but it came to me to change it, and I can get free hosting
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to other, as opposed to paying. So I was like, it's time for a change. So here we are. And the shape of light, I've been thinking about it because it just sort of came to me, and it's like, well, what is the shape of light? And the shape of light depends upon where you're focusing it, and depends on the container you put it in, and depends on a lot of different things. So it's kind of where I'm at. I think it's kind of where we're all at.
That's where everybody is. I mean, everybody's going through changes, and people are like, "Oh well, you guys don't change, but we really do change."
Oh yeah, all the time.
And now we're changing.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Christy.
Hi, Mary. Hi, everyone.
Yes, it's so nice to have all of you show up. Um, so we're going to start in on the questions, and then 15 minutes in, we'll have a bunch of people show up and say, "Oh, you're already into the questions." Little discipline on this channel, guys. If I say we start at 1, we start at 1 because I had to get away from my chiropractor to get here, so you can make it. Thank everyone for coming. And Jeffrey, okay, when did you first realize you might have psychic abilities?
It never occurred to me that it was an ability. Uh, I think I've had it for really, I think I've always had it. I think everyone always has it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, hmm. I'm an empath. So I was always feeling other people's feelings, even as like a really little kid, like 3, 4 years old. So, and I just assumed that everybody else could too.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized that it was other and different, I don't know, maybe when I was about 6 or 7 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, and I think I told you about this last time. I remember when I was young, we were learning about the American Revolution in
Mm-hmm.
school. And this is really young, like first, second grade, something like that. And I just went off. And I felt myself in Philadelphia, and I felt myself being a runner for Ben Franklin. And I had this notion of that I was seeing that at the same time as I was seeing this. So I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of time traveling even. It's kind of wild.
Oh, it's
Um,
fun.
yeah. So I don't know. I think it's always been there, and but I initially thought that everybody had it, and then I guess I started to realize that I had something other. Yeah, when I was about 6 or 7 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there a single aha moment? Or did you gradually build into your
No,
understanding?
I think there were a lot of aha moments. Yeah.
But you did have that experience of sort of time travel when you were a kid thinking about history.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I'm still fascinated with like ancient civilizations and ancient history. And there are certain places that really call me, like Mesopotamia calls me much more than Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I ended up here in Mexico for the same reason.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that gets no one thinks about when they go back and they relive lives is how fragrant some places were.
Yeah.
I think the Middle Ages in England, and I lived there a lot of different times, it smelled bad. Not if you're out in the countryside, but if you're in the city, it was a trip. Okay. How did people around you react when you began to share your experiences?
Well, I was the outside on a lot of levels. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, there was always part of me is like, I'll tell you what I want to tell you. There's
Mm-hmm.
been a certain like, you had to like gain my trust, and then I would go further. But there's always been a certain like, you stay
Mm-hmm.
there, and I'll stay here.
When you told people, were they mainly supportive or skeptical?
Um, Both. It depends on who you tell, and it depends on how you tell them. Um, yeah, some people look at you like you're out of your mind, and so I got enough of that to, be more.
Mm-hmm.
So, so after a certain amount of time, say it around, I don't know, 12, 14, something like that, I became much more discerning about, but a lot of times things just fall out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, things just fall out of my mouth. I mean, that happens a lot. That happens a lot. A
Mm-hmm.
lot less now, but things just used to fall out of my mouth. You know, oh, that's not the case, or no, that's not what happened, or um, that's not what's really going on. But I always felt like I knew, but they didn't know, and there was no point in trying to convince them. It didn't really matter to me whether they
I'll
believed
be
it or
back. We'll be back. We're having some instability in the internet. We went into the magic swirl,
not.
but they hung in there, including Jen Miranda said, what we're saying about being a child and seeing history, it makes so much sense because she can remember those sorts of experiences, but you kind of write them off to imagination.
Yeah, yeah. I think the places that you're fascinated with, and like say the topics you're fascinated with,
Hmm.
are a hint, a big hint.
Yeah, I had one regression where I was in China
Yeah.
and I had been part of a revolutionary movement. And at the point I became aware of who I was and what was going on around me, there was I was in a dark alley, and I remember I know that I was a diminutive human being because, and I'm not a huge one now, but this person was tiny. And she realized that everyone she'd worked with, all the rebels she'd helped get to where they wanted to go, had sold her out. They were going to make her the scapegoat. Boy,
Mm-hmm.
did that ever fall in line with several things that happened in my
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I have some similar stuff too.
Yeah,
Not necessarily China, but there, yeah. And there are certain places on the globe that are just like
cutthroat.
richer for me, or more, they call me
Mhm.
more.
Okay. And then, did you seek training or did you explore all this on your own?
Oh no, I never seek training for anything.
You didn't go to the Academy of Woo Woo?
No, I am the Academy. I never, I dyed clothing and fabric for, I don't know, a long time. I made my living doing it. I never took a class. I figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm not really one, like when like if you buy a piece of furniture at IKEA and they give you the pamphlet, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
this fits.
First thing I do is count the screws, though. I always count.
That I do. I would count the screws, but aside from that, no. I self-taught everything pretty much.
What were the early challenges in figuring out your path? Or did you
Well,
have any?
oh my God, my whole life has been a challenge with that. The early challenges. I think the earliest challenge is learning how to trust yourself and how to trust your own voice, as opposed to what everyone else says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. But maybe that's part of the human experience. I don't know.
Yeah, because that's the other part is we don't know because we've not been in those bodies either.
Yeah.
Are there specific tools that became part of your practice early on?
I think just getting quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I think just getting quiet. And it's still to this day, I've always been a walker.
Mm-hmm.
And walking alone, whether it's in nature or whether it's on the street,
Mm-hmm.
and just being with myself and being in my own thoughts and being in my own body, that is always and has always been my best companion.
Mm-hmm.
And even now, you're like, I go to certain things like an hour away or an hour and a half. I walk. People are like, oh, you what? Oh, it's like you just go down the road, eventually, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, because for me, 2 or 3 hour walks are like not a big deal. It's kind of my own space, my own time to be with myself and be in mm, my own thoughts. And it takes some time. So like after 15 minutes or after 30 minutes, it's almost like jogging or swimming. But there's a thing with walking after a certain amount of time, it's like it all just disappears and then I can allow it to come in. And I still do that. I still do that a lot.
Well, I'm going to tell you this story because I don't think I told you about this. But there's another psychic that I was introduced to, who I have not worked with. He works with interplanetary things and Earth energies,
Mhm.
volcanoes, and that kind of and earthquakes. And he's an older gentleman. I mean, he's older to me, so I mean, he's like ancient. And he was telling me that he learned to walk to meditate. That's
Mhm.
I kind of learned to do it, but and he really thought that was like the best thing for him ever until he walked across the street and a car hit him,
Mhm.
and he was so out of his body that it went through him,
Mhm.
and and the driver when they he was on the ground behind the car when the police came. They said there's no way that you could have been driving the speed you thought you were driving, to the driver saying, because this guy would be dead. And instead he's just sort of this happened to him a few years ago, so he was in his 70s, and he picked himself up and he said, I still have the police report.
Mhm.
But so
Yeah, there's something about movement, and so like now, I make it my business. I go to the forest as often as I can. I go to the forest as often as I can, and it's in the movement that it's almost like time stops. And,
mm-hmm.
I'm here and I get to there, but be, between there and there, I don't know. It all
Yeah,
sort of happens.
so it's still
I think
happening.
because I'm
Okay.
really physical. It's the same thing when I used to make art. When I'm physical and not really thinking about it, it's like 'cause when you're doing the dishes or something,
Mm-hmm.
or playing in the garden. That's when it comes.
Mm-hmm.
When I don't try,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like like let's say I lost my glasses, which happens 10 times a day. So when I stop looking for them and start doing another action, it's
Mhm.
like, oh, there they are.
Yeah, that's the inspiration.
Where's that $500 bill?
Yeah. I've actually found $100 bill on the street once. Do you have any mentors or teachers currently?
No, not really. I mean, I've
Would
I've,
you?
I've read a few things here and there, and I watch a few things, but not really. I think for me it was supposed to be a solo. I think that's the way it's exactly it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a solo journey.
Okay. Is there someone you've worked with that gave you advice that you think was really important for you to hear?
Well, I mean, a lot of people I've worked with have given me advice, and sometimes the advice comes from somebody something you hear on the street, you overhear on the street, or some crazy homeless person screaming something at the top of their lungs. It's like, oh, that makes sense.
Hmm. And how did you learn to tell the difference between psychic impressions and your imagination?
Well, sometimes I still have problems with that one. Um, it's quieter.
Hmm.
It's quieter and it's more of a feeling than a thought.
Hmm.
Because it's really a feeling thing for me. That's my main avenue, let's say.
Hmm.
It's really a feeling more than a thought. The feeling will come and then it'll develop into like some thought or a hearing or something.
Hmm.
But it's mostly I have to really trust how I feel.
Yeah, I was driving around today and I was listening to stuff on YouTube, and Steve Judd was saying, who's an astrologer, he thought that Carr got it wrong when he said, "I think, therefore I am."
Yeah,
If they had said, "I feel, therefore I am," it could have cut a lot of the crap out that we've had to put
yeah,
up.
yeah. But I mean, look, I different people get it in different ways. So I know for me, feeling is that, it's almost like my favorite food, right?
Hmm.
Some people are like, oh, I really love this and I really love that. And it's like, well, that's good. And I get it, but I really love B, not A.
Hmm.
And that's what really works for me. And I think we all have our own little song, our own little favorite color,
Hmm.
our own little, and that's the thing to develop, to honor.
Hmm.
To I want to see the comments. I might be a little glary.
Yes, someone who's learned how to spell your name, Jeffrey, Rey, instead of the extra E in there.
Maybe I should spell it Jeffree.
Hmm. Yes, Jeffrey.
Uh,
Are there moments when you really doubted yourself?
oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
how'd you push through that?
I have to tell myself to shut up. I have to shut up.
Maybe
Let's
our
start
own
this.
worst enemy.
Sometimes I'll see myself going down like it's like, why are you going down this road? It's like you find yourself in a bad neighborhood. It's like, I think I should turn around.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I I used to make a statement. I haven't made it for a long time, but there were places in my mind that it wasn't safe to go with a map, a native guide, and helpers.
Hmm.
And I would always go there.
Yeah. I know. Oh, well, it'll be different this time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, if I wear this outfit instead. Yeah, no.
When you've run into real hardcore skepticism from yourself or from others, did you feel somehow that you had to prove yourself?
No, I usually step away. I usually step away. It's like, yeah, because it's almost like trying to talk to somebody who speaks another language but not only that they speak another, but they have no desire to understand.
Hmm.
So it's like, well, there's no point in this. It's almost like when you add too much salt to the soup. There's a
Hmm.
certain point where it's like, oh, I could add potatoes, I could add rice. Like, no, there's just too much salt in it. Like
Hmm.
nothing is going to help. Like, where we're beyond that point, and it's like, let it go.
And have your abilities gone through strong and weak phases?
Yes.
And
Um,
do you find that there's a characteristic to a shift? Like, do you get really strong and then you go through a shift, or do things get really
yeah,
weak?
I
Kind
mean,
of.
but that's been like, that's how my life really, it's been like this. So things are good and then things are bad. It's the way I eat. It's the way I sleep. It's the way I do everything. It's like here or it's there. It's very rarely in the middle. So it's like if the train is running, get on the train, because when the train is running, we can get to as many places as we can. But if the train isn't running, you just have to sit in the station until the train
Mhm.
comes. So a little bit like that. My whole world, my whole life works like that.
What do you do to protect your own energy?
Oh, I say protection prayer every day
Okay,
for
so
years.
that's your go-to kind of ritual.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you
Yeah.
write.
Hmm?
You write also.
I do. I write. Yeah, writing really helps me. So I begin the day. Um, I call on the violet fire of transmutation to come and protect me and heal me and support me, and to bring me into the highest state of light,
Hmm.
100%. And then I do a few other things, and then I write. So uh, this is what I've been doing for, I don't know, about a year or two now. So I have a book. Well, it's over there, and I write what's the message of light. And some days I get like one sentence. Some days it's like a whole paragraph. Yeah, writing has really helped me. Writing has really helped me.
Hmm.
But it's new. It's like the phase that I'm going through now, and I'm not so tied. I used to be very tied to this is the ritual. This has to be the thing. It has to be at this time. And now I'm not, and I think it's much better. It's for me, it's much better. And at the time when I was really sort of tight and rigid, that worked for then, and now it doesn't work. So I allowed myself to change.
That's part of living.
Yeah,
And we're going through a time right now. Jeffrey's sort of, to me, indicative of what the time we're in. We're in a form. We're in a time when people say there's a lot of transformation going on.
yeah,
I think there's a lot of transmuting going on. I think
yeah,
there's a much more profound change that I'm just
yep,
going to. Transforming's like getting a new couch in your living room.
right.
Transmutation is like knocking the walls down and rearranging everything.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's exactly what's going on. Exactly. And I think that's why it's called the shape of light, because it's like, well, that's a cool name, but what does it mean? It's like, I don't know, it means something different every day.
Mm-hmm. And let's see. Do you think our psychic abilities are innate, or can anyone in develop them?
I think it's a little bit like, say, musical ability or language ability.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody has the ability, but some people are going to be better at it than others.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can like buy every cookbook and try every recipe and everything is like, eh. And some people, they just have a natural knack for, even though the recipe said this, I'm going to add a little bit more of that, or I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
take it out. They just instinctively. So I think that we all have certain people are good at math and certain people aren't. Certain people are good at language or whatever it is. So I think that's true in all areas. Some people have like an athletic ability, a built-in athletic
Mm-hmm.
ability. It's an intelligence or a balance intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
right? And some people are going to just come in with it stronger, and I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And I
And
think we all have our gifts, and
mhm.
we all want the gifts that we don't have, or the ones that we're not really good at. So hang around with people who are good at things that you're not good at.
Right. And it'll rub off on you enough that you'll get more secure with it.
Or they can do it for you, and then you do something else for them.
Mm-hmm. Has your work changed your worldview or beliefs about life and death?
Oh yeah. Well, even when I was a little kid, I really understood that reincarnation. I really, even as a kid, before I even understood what it was, I understood what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I always understood um, the Godhead as both masculine and feminine, always. Um, but maybe age has helped me to trust myself more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe age has helped me to trust myself more. Does that answer the question? Was that really the
Yeah,
question?
no, that's fine. I mean, it's your whatever you say. I mean, you talked a little bit about how your system's evolved. It's evolved over time. You didn't come spouting that you knew about past lives or you understood an astrology chart. It took time. You had to be exposed to things.
Yeah, yeah. But I always had a certain, even really, really young, it was like, there's got to be more than this.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be more than this.
Oh, that was an early one for me too. Like, you mean you set me down here? I'm gonna sit here and be a Presbyterian, and then 144,000 people are the only ones that are gonna make it to heaven. When I
Yeah,
was born, there were 2 billion people on the planet, and you're telling me with all the history before, there's only 144,000. That's when I got thrown out of Sunday school.
yeah. No, there was a lot of stuff in the religious education. It was like, really,
Yeah,
two
and
giraffes and two hippopotamus and two scorpions and two houseflies get on the boat. Really?
really, I don't think so. You know that there would have been one squirrel that would have gotten down there no matter what. Um, which one is what is one of the most powerful readings that you've ever done that you can disclose? You don't have to talk about people. I mean, whatever you want to talk about, how it moved you and why.
No, there have been quite a lot of them. There have been really quite a lot of them. Sometimes, like I go into mediumship without even knowing it. That happens quite a lot. Um, yeah, I'll get messages from people's loved ones that have passed on, and and I'm not even aware that they passed on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when my mother died, she I had a conversation. I knew, like, I got this download that she was going to die on a certain day. And I was so sure of it, I like the back of my hand. And I'm like, oh, it couldn't, it was like, and it happened. I
Mm-hmm.
knew, I knew it like, sometimes I just know it. It's beyond, it's a knowing.
Mm-hmm.
No, there've been quite a few of them. And sometimes I get information for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when I'm out looking, I get information for myself. Even living here, like the first day, when I came here, I think it was
Explain where here is, Jeffrey, for
I
those.
live in Mexico City.
Okay.
So I I studied Mesoamerican art history when I was in school, and
Mm-hmm.
I found it incredible and fascinating because it's not what we usually learn. When we learn about ancient civilizations, you'll learn about Mesopotamia and India and China and Greece and Egypt and basically maybe a little bit. I learned a little bit about African stuff, but not much about Mesoamerica at all. Not much about the Americas at all. Anyway, I came here, and my first day here, my first few hours here, I'm walking around, and I'm hearing, "You belong here. You belong here. You belong." Like all day, I'm like, "Leave me alone. Leave me alone." Like I thought it was my imagination. It was like, "What's going on?" And it was right.
Yeah, and the other thing people need to understand is Jeffrey is not a fluent speaker of Spanish. You're better than you used to be. But
Still.
Jeffrey didn't go there because he learned so much Spanish.
Oh, when I got here, like when I was first here in I think it was 2016 or 17, the first time I came here.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked to the Basilica, which was like a 3 hour walk. It was kind of crazy. It was like an El Camino because I've always been attracted to Guadalupe. And I'm walking around, and I mean, literally, my Spanish was hola, gracias, adios, donde está el baño? That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm walking around. I have no idea where I was. And I didn't take the metro. I wanted to walk. And it's like so vibrant and so alive and so crazy and so surreal. I was like, this place is fantastic. And I know a lot of people would be like, oh, it's just too much. It's like too much is like perfect for me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I kept on hearing you belong here, you belong here, you belong here, you belong here, you belong here. And here I am. Yeah, I get messages all the time. I get messages more here. My abilities are much stronger here because I belong here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it.
Well, in a plea for people who don't understand about astrocartography, which is where you put astrology together with the Earth planets, doesn't Venus, the line of Venus, run right through Mexico City on your birth chart?
It's a little bit east.
Well, it's in the same place almost.
I think it runs through Puebla, and Puebla is another city about, I don't know, 2 hours from here.
Almost all the cities I almost moved to before I moved, Dallas is like Chicago. I mean, it's sort of the same thing.
Yeah.
But almost all the cities that I was thinking about moving to, whenever an astrocartographer looks at it, they go, "Oh my God, that would have been a disaster."
Mm.
I mean, it's really not good stuff. But we're not teaching astrocartography here. We're talking about Jeffrey.
I don't know that. I mean, I know a little bit about it, but I don't know that much about it. It's really a fascinating thing, actually.
Mm-hmm. But when Jeffrey said, "Oh, Venus goes through Mexico City," I said, "Whoop whoop."
Well,
You're
also
right.
my personal chart and the chart of when Mexico City was founded by the Aztecs, because they have that date, because they were really into like dates, the ancient
Mm-hmm.
Mexicans, the ancient Mesoamericans. It's like my Venus and it just, yeah, it just, oh, perfect.
Okay. Here's how do you deliver complex or sensitive messages?
Um,
Or do you have guidelines about that?
well, I always come from a space of compassion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always coming from a space of kindness, of compassion, of love, but the truth,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
Okay. And how do you adapt to your different styles of clients?
that I'm good at. That's a natural for me. I grew up in a store. I grew up buying and selling clothes since I was a little kid, and I grew
Mm-hmm.
up. So I can deal with just about everybody. I can deal with everybody actually. I have a lot of experience with that. So ever since I was a small child, I've always dealt with all different kinds. I just get a feeling. It's like, well, how am I going to reach you?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be through humor? Is it going to be through clarity? Is it going to be through kindness? Is it going to be through, um, I don't know, being relaxed? How,
Mm-hmm.
I always, I'm real good at that. I have been
Good.
for a long time. Yeah.
Okay. What advice would you give to someone who's just beginning to explore their gifts?
Be kind to yourself. Trust yourself. Take breaks. Go into your heart. Go into your heart.
What do you wish you'd known earlier about expanding gifts?
What do I wish I'd known earlier?
And there may be nothing. I mean, it's just a.
No, that I wish I'd known more about the sacredness of it. You know, it's not a game. It's not a game. I wish I'd known more about that. I wish I'd well, understood that on a different level. You know, because sometimes you have something and then you just take it for granted. You just take it for granted, you know, and not
Hmm.
realize that it's actually a gift and that it's meant to be cherished.
Hmm.
You know, if you have like a really beautiful piece of jewelry, let's say, you don't wear it out on the street every day. You wear it for something special. You wear it for like, oh, I'm going to a special party. I'm going to a special whatever. That's when you take it out and wear it. Not just every day, just like this. I don't know how else to put it.
No, that's good. Any daily habits or exercises you recommend? You talked about writing.
Writing really helps. That really helps me. I think um, you know, I don't think it has to be very ritualized, but just to set aside space or set it aside, make a place in your head that it's like, okay, it's time to like have my moment. It's time to, you know, it could be the morning, it could be the evening, it could be the middle of the day, could be all three. Like make space.
Hmm.
Make space, whether it's physical or spiritual or emotional. It's really to make space. I feel like that's what it is. It's almost like cleaning the house, you know?
Hmm.
When you clean the house, like after the house is clean, it's like, oh, this feels good. Or, you know, or you make, you know, you bought a lot of food and the refrigerator's full. So I have to make space for this.
Hmm.
But so I think it's physical and it's spiritual and emotional. It's like I need to make space instead of, you know, especially these days, you know, we get so much information.
It
There's
gets so
too
much
much information,
clutter.
so much clutter. Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with what we're about. Can anyone find? How can someone find a trustworthy psychic community or mentor?
I think if you're open, it appears. I think if you're open, it appears. So I'll give you so, you know, I do healing work also. And, you know, for many years, I did some like spiritual cleansing stuff. And then I sort of stopped and I got busy and I was doing this and I was doing that. And the guy who taught me the IET, the integrated energy therapy thing that I do, which is kind of like Reiki, the guy who taught me that found me. He
Hmm.
found me. I was working at a store where I was selling the stuff that I used to make. I used to dye T-shirts and put all these spiritual symbols on them. And I used to sell to a specific store. I sold a lot of stores, but this one store I used to work at also. And he just sort of came in. And he was like kind of bothering me with all this other nonsense. And I was putting on a show and I still didn't make the sale. And then he came back 2 weeks later. He goes, oh, you're the one who dies. And could you dye something for me? And, you know, my head it was like, what do you want? Yeah, what do you want?
Hmm.
He's like, oh, nah. I said, just bring it in. I'll just do it. And I did. And
Hmm.
I gave it to him for free because it's like I had a dye lot already. You know, like I had a tub of dye and he wanted a certain color. I was already making that color. I threw it in and I brought it to him the next week. And then he came in with like crystal bowls and he did a whole healing on me. I was like, oh my God. So I think if you're open, it just sort of happens, you know, because so many times I think we try so hard to go after and to get this and to do that. And it's like I don't know, it's just like walking down the street. It just sort of happens. Or you read something by chance, or you overhear a conversation, or a friend says, oh, by the way, I think it's like that. I think if it's meant for you, it finds you. You know, if it's meant for
Hmm.
you, it finds you. And it's like, if you're, you know, it's just like, show me the way. Show me the way. Bring the right people in. And you know, I've gotten more and more like that because so many times I've tried to force things and it's like, this isn't really working. And then when you stop trying to force it, it just sort of like appears.
Know the feeling. Okay. And this is, are there like red flags you found in the psychic community that would make you want to kind of avoid certain things? I'm not.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. What would be your psychic flag?
Just doesn't feel right, doesn't smell right, doesn't look
Mhm.
right, doesn't,
And we're not all made for everyone.
no, no. And, you know, and then, you know, like, let's say there's somebody I'm watching on YouTube, right? And they say certain things that make a lot of sense or that resonate with me. And then they say other things. It's like, oh, you're really off on that. It doesn't mean I have to throw away the baby with the bathwater. It's like you can take what you need. You, you know, sometimes you have a tomato in the refrigerator and part of it's rotten. And it's like, but I really want tomato. So I'm just going to cut away that piece of the tomato
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to use the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but sometimes what appears initially to be a beautiful ripe tomato is just completely rotten. It's like, okay, I tried, but I cut into the middle of it and it's, you know, there's like something, there's like a worm in there. No.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I go with how I feel. That's how I go. I go with how I feel.
Okay. Now here's the last question. And then there's a couple comments I'm going to bring up. But
Okay.
what's the biggest lesson you've learned from your psychic journey that you've been on since God was a child? So this is going to be interesting.
That I'm loved.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm loved, I'm guided, I'm protected, that I'm loved, that it's almost like you could do no wrong because even the wrong is right, that I'm supported and loved and guided. But that's taken me a really long time to get to, a really long time. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that brings us to the end of my questions for Mr. Jeffrey. But I have three that I starred. Linda Bishop said, she's talking about, I want to mention this one. She's talking about how Robert Redford died last night. He was 89.
Oh,
And I met him when I was in college. I was helping run I was running a film festival, and he came in, and he was absolutely one of the kindest, most gentle, uh, was good with the students.
mm-hmm,
And there, trust me, there were some that were not. They were
mm-hmm,
snots.
mm-hmm,
And I really want to say a few kind words for him because he did uh, make a difference to people who met him, and there are many who do not. And then this was the other question, which is a Jeffrey question. How does Jeffrey feel the fire helped him?
yeah, no, the fire was a divine plan.
Mhm.
The fire was a divine plan. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And for
Absolutely.
those who are newer to the community, you lived in your apartment how long in New York?
30 years.
And woke up one day smelling smoke and decided maybe you were done living there.
Well, I didn't really have much of a choice.
No, no, you didn't. Life does that to us at times.
Yeah. Well, you know, this is the wild thing, Linda. So the year before, so the fire was in January. This year, it's going to be 4 years. So that was 2022, I guess. Yeah. But was I in Mexico the year no, I was here in 2020 in January, and I was in the Zocalo, and it was an eclipse. And I'm in the Zocalo, which is like the main square, which is huge. It's like Red Square. It's enormous. And I'm there like late at night, and I'm the only one there, which was really weird. And I'm talking out loud. I'm like, I don't know how you're going to do it, but I want to live here. I don't care how you do it, but this is what I want. Real clear. real clear. And that's what I got.
Yeah, you got to hang off the fire escape in your underwear first.
Yeah.
But just the small problems. And that's why when people tell me I've got this horrible, enormous problem, give it a little bit of time. You're going to see where it's going to go.
Yeah, sometimes there are certain problems or things that are going on in my life, and I'm like, this is a luxury, darling. This is a luxury.
Mm-hmm.
It'll work out when it works out. If it works out, it'll morph. You'll look at it from a different angle.
Okay, and then this is when I think you were talking about the guy who taught you IET.
Oh yeah, you want me to? I can't do the thing.
Okay.
His name is Roger Ancinelli, and he has a YouTube channel. His last name is spelled Ansannelli. So if you put that into YouTube, he'll come up.
Mm-hmm.
Did I ever get the smoke smell out of my clothes? Really? Yeah, I
No.
wish.
And he was collecting stuff forever. I mean, trying to figure out what it was.
Oh, that's cool that you're painting. I love that you're painting.
Yeah, oil painters painting while this is all going on.
Nice.
And Sharon Sipe, who has watched over all of us for so long, is spreading.
Thank you, Sharon.
Yes.
Sharon, you're incredible.
And she's got a book on Amazon. Let's see.
Hi, Dr. Gale.
Hi, Dr. Gale's in the room. By the way, for those, and I know this, one of the reasons she's in the room, next Tuesday, she'll be asking the questions and I'll be answering them. Now,
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah. And of course, I'm cheating because I know what the questions are. But
no, but maybe they'll throw in some extras.
Will you be quiet? That's what she and I talked about last night. She said, no.
See, I told you I was psychic.
And and I'm going to put up Jeffrey's information. This is where you can find his email. Say what the name
is. My new email. Do you have my new email?
Yeah, the shape of, that's what I'm flashing along the bottom.
Okay, good. I can't see. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, that's me.
Mm-hmm. That's the new.
It was time for a change. It was time to morph. It was time to
let go of being a designer and become the psychic self.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes, you and I have been talking about that for a year.
Have we?
He listens so well. For those of you who don't know it,
well, I know it happens when it happens,
I know.
And sometimes you just, sometimes you plant a seed and it takes a long time. I find that in the garden, right? Mm-hmm. So, there are a lot of nopals around here with, the cactus that look like bunny ears. And so there was this really big one on the street. I was like, I'm just going to take a piece of it. And I put it in soil and it sat there like that. I mean, it was alive for a long, long time. And then all of a sudden, it's got all these children coming off of it. It took like a year. It's like, oh, thank you.
Yes. And you're going to have to explain what I'm about to put on the bottom of the screen, the payit.com.
Oh, PayHip is just a site that will host. If you have things available for purchase, right? So you could do digital stuff. You could do, I do readings. They call it coaching. Okay. Also, because my books are digital, or my art is digital, or have meditations that are digital. So it hosts it for free, because I was on, one of the big sites, and I'm like paying. And it was like, it's time to stop paying for this.
If it's not paying you back, you got to get out.
Yeah. So, and it was just time to, I don't know, be more free. just to be more free.
And for those of you who arrived late, we started on time. That's one of my nasty habits. And so Jeffrey goes through all 20 questions from the beginning. And sometime soon I will have a giant playlist that I can put up that so people can see it and understand it. And because I've got a lot of readers now, and I'll have more. And then I'll probably put the playlist up when I'm on it. But and
That's a really good idea.
And I started another end of my healing process. I started some chiropractic treatments, and I'm going to have 6 months of kind of intensive chiropractic work done on me because parts of my body just locked up when I got so sick. And now it's time to let them go. And it's all places I thought I hurt. And what else is going on around me? I won't be back on, I don't think, until Sunday with Scott. And this Sunday will be with Scott. Last Sunday was with Sean. And if you haven't seen that, it's on my channel. Sean brought an article from the ADL. Finchley. What is it? What's the ADL? It's the
Anti-Defamation League.
Anti-Defamation League, right. Just went completely out of my mind. But they've done a long-term study of violence in America, and especially domestic extremist violence, which there are no government statistics on because Republicans took care of that a few years ago. But they went back through and did the hard work and found it. And when you see the chart, let me see if I can find it. Is it here? This is going to make my people that normally watch me and don't see this stuff. This is how violence has gone since 1995. They're telling us we're about at a civil war. We were much closer to a civil war in the 90s. So that's just another thing that I've been working on that I would like people to think about, because this goes back to my idea of quit falling for the triggers they're laying in front of us and look for the glimmers. And that's why I'm doing psychic profiles. I want people to have glimmers of what can help and what can make us work and what can happen that's
positive. Now is really the time to really get more in touch and trust yourself. I mean, now with AI, I mean, they could, whatever they want to put in looks completely real. They can make people say something that they're not saying. They can move so you really, really have to go in and develop that relationship with you to know what's really true, what's really resonating, because, there's a forest here and I want you to go. And my friend is really a scaredy cat. He goes, oh, well, somebody got kidnapped there 3 years ago. It's like, yeah, but what about the thousands and thousands and thousands of people that go there and nothing happened? Do they report on that? No.
No, it's called If It Bleeds, It Leads. The more terrifying it is, the more people want to watch it, or more people will follow it. And also the more media will play it up. So what I would like everyone to do is to take a deep breath, join us over in our world, and learn.
Yeah. Yes, Rose, you can eat no problem. If you take it off and you
scrape it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's a little slimy. A little bit like okra, like a little bit slimy, but I like it. I like no problem. Yeah. And it'll flower. Sometimes they flower.
I don't know what that is.
They sent me something with that also at that hype thing. But I don't know what that is either.
I have to look it up. Trust me, I don't trust YouTube as far as I can throw them, and I can't throw them very far. I can throw them farther than I used to because my big screen broke. So I don't have my big giant screen. I can throw my little computer real fast. But my big screen blew up today. And so I'm having to read on a little bitty screen. And tech support came over and said, I think it's dead. And if tech support thinks it's maybe dead, then it's probably maybe really dead. And it was a gifty from someone, giant big Dell screen. What can I say? But we'll live.
Well, maybe there'll be more room on your desk for other things then.
Well, I need more room on my desk. I'm building 5 grids, which is what's going to be part of my next 3 days. This afternoon, I'm going to go rest because that Nepal crap, it does taste like, where are my banners? Hide and hide. The comment that that stuff, I've had it does taste like green beans. Oh, not Hygiene Miranda.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, it depends on where you get your green beans from, but anyway, that's enough chit chat of totally off the topic a bit, but I've never done that before, Jeffrey. You've led me astray.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about cooking, I'm always really happy.
Okay. Someone heard that it's good to cook with eggs. Where'd it go? Okay. I'm going to keep saying, hi, Jen Miranda. I want to see you. Hi, Jen Miranda, but I can tell you what, guys, Google it. You will find recipes like you never knew in your life.
Well, Jen, I live near the Mercado, so I can go and get any kind of mole that I want, and then, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yummy, yummy. But they're closed today because today is Independence Day here in Mexico.
Show them your flag, Jeffrey.
So I have somebody living with me temporarily for a month, and he works for the government. So.
This is like a giant American flag in your living room.
Yeah.
So.
And this morning, because it's Independence, I live really close to the center of the city, like really close. The big square, Zocalo.
Mm-hmm.
All these military helicopters and military planes. I was like, I hope they don't do that during the video. But they didn't. But you're on the, like, I go to the roof, and it's like, what was that?
Well, I want to thank everybody who showed up. I want to thank the people from Jeffrey's channel that bothered to wander by. And
yeah, The Shape of Light. So, and then all my stuff is going to be available at payhip.com/The Shape of Light. All one word, The Shape of Light.
Jeffrey's readings are called coachings. And my readings are called readings, and mine are still through crystaldirections.com. And I hope everybody has a beautiful day.
Blessings. Thank
Happy
you.
National Pride Day to Mexico.
Thank you. And Independence. Okay.
Independence Day. And a week from today, you can hear me be put in the hot seat by Dr. Gill. Bye.
Bye.